Thanks for joining us for another edition of Weekend Winners, harness racing at Albion Park on Saturday night. And we're back to a full card, 10 races, action getting underway at 5:43. In this edition of Weekend Winners, hopefully we'll be able to track down Chris Geary and the McMullen sisters, Narissa and Danielle. I'll be able to pick their brains about their drives on the weekend, and hopefully they can share a winner or two with us this week. Chris Geary jumps in the chair to have a chat with us about his drives on Saturday night. And Chris, we're going to start with race one, number one, Senora Rapido. A mare that's doing a terrific job. She lands the all-important ace draw, and she looks capable of taking this race.
Yeah, definitely. The last few runs have been really creditable, and last week she sort of was probably one of the only ones that made ground in pretty slick run race, and really happy with her efforts. And she's a mare that likes to get up out in front and roll along. So Saturday night with the one probably looks the best chance to do that for a while. And although it's a pretty quality field, there's a few in-form horses in there, but I'd have to say with the draw she'd probably be the in-form horse in the race and probably the one to beat.
Well, talking about her run last week, she chased home Zarvan Banner. As we know, he's a great short course horse. What about the fact that we go from the mile to 2,100 metres? Is that going to pose any issues for her?
I don't think so. I think, like I said, she's a mare that likes to get out in front and roll along, and I don't think the step up and trip will bother her too much. She, she seems pretty fit and solid at the moment. So, as long as she doesn't have to get into any speed burns early or anything like that, and she, get a pretty easy enough lead time, I think she'll take some catching.
We'll probably know more after this race on Saturday night, but just judging by it, how far do you think this mare can go? Like, this is a really strong field, as you outlined, but she looks capable of taking it probably another step or two further.
She does, yeah, and she's pretty lightly raced in saying that as well. So, she's still learning things at the same time. So, in saying that, I think she's a pretty nice mare, and maybe not this season, but next season, I think that's when we might see the best of her.
All right, a good push there for Senora Rapido. Race 2. This is a good quality race as well. My Master Craftsman. I've got to ask the obvious question. Did he surprise you with his efforts during the recent Summer Carnival?
I wouldn't say surprised me. I followed the horse a little bit in New Zealand when he was with the All-Stars, and he always looked like a quality horse, and I think it just took him a little bit of time to find his feet, and now with Ian Gurney, I think Ian's sorted him out and got him going really well, and probably like his last few runs have showed, he's really started to take that next step up, and he's probably a bit the same, I think, in the coming season and even on to next season, he could turn into a quality horse.
Okay, well, just on those last two runs, which run did you think was better, the Christmas Cup run or the most recent, the Queensland Cup run?
Probably the Queensland Cup run. They got home pretty slick in that race, and he found the line really strongly. He got beat by a couple of quality horses, and Colt 31 and Robbie Morris's Bad Billy. So they're both quality horses as well, and it was probably his first time racing those sort of seasoned, more open horses, and like I said, I think his run was really creditable.
All right, he's got gate 3 over a mile. Where do you plan on being 200 metres after the start?
It's hard to say. I know the 1 and the 2 both sort of leave the gate pretty strongly, so but he's got to push forward. He's got to try and find himself in some sort of spot, and just play it by ear from there. It looks like a bit of speed outside him as well. So if he can lob somewhere handy up the front without doing too much, I think he's pretty dangerous. All
right, race 4, Donnie Jones. He's got a bad gate here, gate 7, but if he had drawn a gate in this field, he would have been very hard to beat. He's still going to be hard to beat, but with a good draw, he would have taken some catching.
Yeah, like I said, it's a pretty even field, and with even luck, I think he is still a chance. But gate 7 makes it hard. He's probably going to have to push forward or try and slide across there and find himself in a spot. But yeah, like you said, I think he's definitely not an outsider in the field by any means. He's been racing really well, probably without a lot of luck, and if he can find himself in a spot and we get a little bit of luck and running, then he's going to be thereabouts.
Could you light him up from 7 and lead this field?
I think we might just leave that one as a surprise if we do or we don't, but we'll leave a couple of people guessing there. But like I say, he has got great early speed as well if you need it. But I think we might just have to wait and see with that one.
All right, well, there's some good chances there. Appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
No worries, thank you.
Narissa McMullen has a big book of drives on Saturday night. She's straight into action with the first race, partnering up with Major Currency. Narissa, this is a guy that's in really good form, recorded back-to-back victories, and then he had no luck here last time out. How do you think his chances look for this weekend?
Yeah, he's been racing really well. Last week, no luck at all. Pretty much went to the line hard held. So hopefully we have better luck this week. If he can find a position handy, I think he'll race really well.
And that's the key, finding that spot, looking at those on your inside. They've all got some early speed, so it's not going to be an easy drive for you trying to find that good spot.
No, exactly. We're probably just going to have to look to slot in early, and he doesn't always like coming wide, so we might need to find some gaps late, but he'll finish off well.
Okay, let's skip across to Ali Ali Kai. The obvious question with this mare, what happened last start? Because her form prior was sensational.
She seemed a little flat last start. She's had a freshen up since, and if she gets back to her best, she'll go really well in this race.
2 starts ago in the Redcliffe Christmas Cup. Really good against a good horse and always in command. As you outlined, just an off night, but if she's at her best, she's capable of taking this race.
Yeah, definitely. She's got plenty of ability when she's right, so hopefully she's spot on and she'll be finishing off super.
Is the second row draw a concern?
Not necessarily. She's probably better when you drive her a little bit more conservative, so we'll just sit back and look for a card into it or something, and she'll finish off well.
All right. Race number 8, your own runner here, Flying Wingard, a horse that loves the mile. He's got a front row draw, but he's got pace on his inside. Again, it looks a little tricky.
Yeah, another tricky draw. He's got plenty of gate speed, but he's probably better if you don't use it. We'll just look to slot in somewhere, and he'll finish off well. He's racing really well.
Last time out, second behind Rawato Bay. Were you a little disappointed that Rawato Bay was able to come off your back and run you down?
Probably a touch, but it's the quickest he's ever been, and I think that run will improve him.
Okay, so he looks a good chance there, Flying Wingard. And I've got to ask about Quietly Spoken. She's a favourite of yours. She goes around in the trot race 9, scored last week. Can she go back to back?
I think she can. She's got the 30 metres this week, which might be a little bit tougher, but she's going better when we just drive her for one run on them, so we'll just drive for luck and hopefully she gets plenty of it and she'll be in the finish.
All right, well, it's going to be a busy night, no doubt about it. Appreciate the time today, and we'll see you trackside.
Thank you.
Danielle McMullen joins us talking about 3 drives on Saturday night. And Danielle, we start with Mucho Macho Man in race 3. Only a new addition to the stables of Ryan Vevers, but so far both runs have been really pleasing.
Yeah, he has gone good. We've used him out the gate a little bit the last couple of starts, and he's been pretty handy and gone really good. Yeah, hopefully he'll be the same this week.
Okay. He faces a second row draw this week, so it's probably a little bit different, as you outline. You've used him early in recent starts, so what can we expect with this second row draw?
There's a couple of nice ones off the front row, so hopefully there's a little bit of speed on him. We'll just follow through and get a nice run, and he'll be somewhere handy, I hope.
All right, well, that's Mucho Macho Man. We'll skip across to race 5. I'm a Top Tycoon. He looks a really good chance. This race looks loaded with speed, and he's the type of horse, if he gets conditions to suit, he's going to be very competitive.
Yeah, definitely. Last start he sprinted home good, and he has a really nice sprint on him. But yeah, if he could be a little bit closer, it'd be better.
That form line looks pretty strong. He chased home Big Bang Leonard last time out, and he's a horse that's absolutely flying, so it was a good run.
Yeah, definitely. Probably would have been the fastest quarter in every horse in that race.
How do you see this race playing out early? As I said, there's a lot of speed early, so the key's going to be to find that good spot pretty quickly.
Yeah, he hasn't got a whole lot of gate speed, so I don't know how he's going to match with those couple drawn inside him. But I'm sort of hoping we can just slot in and be somewhere handy.
All right. And in the trot, race number 9, Just a Bit Noisy. He's been mixing his form of late. He's off 20 metres here. What are you expecting with Just a Bit Noisy?
His form probably doesn't look very good on paper, but he's been flying like his last couple of runs. Last week he got home really good.
He can step really quick, so if he can step and take advantage of that early speed that he has, it probably goes a long way in winning this race.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
All right. Well, of the 3 drives, which one are you leaning to most as the best of them?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'd probably say I'm a Top Tycoon, just because he's always tries his hardest.
All right. We'll take the tip. Great stuff. We'll see you trackside.
Thank you.
If you're looking for a good gamble on the weekend, I think we've got to be patient because I think the good gamble comes up in the final race on Saturday night, the Mares event. I'm keen on the chances of 5, St Kilda Beach. I think she looks better suited this week with a front row draw and the longer trip, 2,138 metres. She's a capable mare. I think she'll roll forward. She should be up on the speed. And I think she's going to prove very hard to beat. So race 10, number 5, as I said, be patient, wait for that last race. But I think she's well worth a gamble here. And as I said, always gamble responsibly.